everybody. Welcome to Real Siblings. It Ain't Easy, a podcast that's about a little bit of real estate, a little bit of lifestyle, and for this episode and a few others is a little bit about the words of the season we are in. And so we have recently spoken about hope, and today we are going to spend a little bit of time on peace, which on the Christian calendar is part of the Advent season. It is the second candle that we like. And boy, Eric, isn't peace a word that is used a lot in the middle of many wars?
Yes, yes. Actually, one of my favorite Christmas stories, Garth Brooks did a song on, and Celtic Thunder did a song on. There's another kind of a metal band that did a song, and it's all about Christmas truce in 1915
Oh,
during the
I
war.
love that.
And there's three different versions. Garth Brooks is Bellew Woods. Celtic Thunder is Christmas 1915. And I can't think of the third one right now, but I have all three versions on my
Isn't that
playlist.
a whole video too? Isn't there a whole movie?
Yeah, there's a whole movie about it too,
Yeah.
and it's striking that in the one that I listened to today, it's Celtic Thunder, and the irony of what it is that war is in a place and such a thing that on Christmas Eve, the French on one side, the Germans on the other side, or the Allies on one side against the Germans. And all of a sudden at midnight, this truce had been declared, and the German soldiers start singing Stille Nacht.
Yeah. So,
And they talk
yeah.
about the peace that broke out. They spent the night singing and laughing and sharing cigarettes and all of those things. And the next morning, they went back to killing
They
each
go
other.
back to, yeah. I I don't know that there's anybody that would listen to this podcast that hasn't sung Let There Be Peace on Earth. And up with people, can we sing a song of peace in a world that's
Sure,
full
can
of
you sing a
fear?
song of peace? Let
It's
there
one
be
of
peace.
those
Yeah.
words that we can go on and on and on about, and yet we seem to struggle with it. So again, as I go back to a real estate transaction, which is the piece of this podcast that's a little bit more firm,
The PIECE or the
Yeah,
PEACE?
PEACE is what we're going to talk about right now. The piece of this. That's good.
I don't even know if I did my I after E,
Yeah,
except
I
sounded
before you
by.
get yeah. But I was thinking about it from the other night. I was showing a home to a couple who their 2-year-old stays with grandma, but they have a 3-month old, and they've been walking around, and mom's been having to feed their little one and stuff. And so for the first time, I held their little girl so that they could have 20 to 30 minutes of peace without and walk the property, because they're looking at big properties with garages that could be other rooms and things like that. And it's funny for me because I also learned that 13 to 15 pounds when you're not used to doing it and you're carrying somebody for 40 minutes is a lot of, it's like getting your groceries.
You
But
don't do
but I
that
know that
anymore,
that
do
gave
you,
them
sis?
a few moments of peace. Um,
Well, and can we, as much as we associate it to the big picture, the peace accords, Ukraine, we associate it with big things globally. We're talking about the peace accords between Russia and Ukraine right now. We're
mhm.
in the middle of this ceasefire between Israel and Gaza, and that still hasn't resolved.
Right.
Here in the US, we're blowing boats up in the middle of the ocean or the Gulf. But take it to a very, very, very small personal level. How many of us just want to sleep through the night
Mm. Oh, that's
and get
interesting.
a peaceful night's sleep when we can't even manage it ourselves?
Hmm.
How do we mix that in with everything else? And for me, from a real estate standpoint, sorry, I'm going to change on you real quick. No, go with your
No,
thought. I'll stop you.
no, go ahead. That's interesting.
The thing that, as much as we talk about in hope, you're hoping this, you're hoping this, you're hoping this. the financial side of a transaction, especially on the buyers,
Hmm.
does not give them a lot of peace,
No,
especially a first time buyer. So wait, you always hear that your monthly payment isn't going to change, right? Or at least that's what they
right,
hear.
right.
Even though we try to tell them that's the principal and interest that's not going to change. That's the
The
part
tax
that's
is good. The other, yeah.
advertised. Your taxes and insurance, which are also going to be escrowed, change regularly. And they don't generally drop. It
Hmm.
goes one direction. So what I can afford today, is that going to keep up with whatever the insurance industry does? And the piece that comes with, oh, I have a roof over my head.
And or those who have reached a point where everything's paid off, where they own their home free and clear. And they know that unless there is the avalanche, the earthquake, the flood, all the things that can happen, or that, that's they have a place they can go home to every night and have that roof over their head and not have to think about the money piece at this point in their life.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
compared to like my son and his wife who are just starting in this arena, you know?
But that's the piece to me that's the biggest from a piece standpoint in the transaction, even as much as they're worried about repairs.
Yep.
Even, I mean, we negotiate for that. And once it's done, we expect it to be done. And our job is to follow up. If we're representing the buyer, hey, guess what? I want to see the receipts. I want to see who did the work. I want to see what was done or accomplished. If you're representing and helping the seller, go and look, we need to make sure we've got clear, decipherable statements.
Yeah.
And you don't want to have, I mean, I'm pretty specific on mine. I want a licensed professional to do this. I don't want the homeowner to go out and go, oh yeah, I can fix that circuit.
Yeah. I think that what you just mentioned, so those are kind of our auxiliary partners that we have. If somebody, I just had someone who moved back from Florida. She didn't know who to do the electric. She didn't know if she needed a handyman. She didn't know. And so that's a place where we can help restore a little bit of peace during a frenetic time frame, especially from afar. If they haven't been in the home, that's something I think that we can hopefully provide, for
Right.
them.
And in recent transaction, I was representing a buyer. We had three attorney siblings selling the house all over the world, and they don't like each other.
They're all attorneys.
They're all attorneys. They hire attorneys to represent them related to this house because they disagree so much as attorneys. The listing agent to me said they hate each
Oh,
other.
great.
There's a reason that one lives in Germany. And for one of their transactions, because they had multiple pieces in this estate for family here in San Antonio where none of them live, because of the financing, he had to sign with a wet signature. So he flew in from Germany to New York, met with somebody in New York, climbed on the plane, and flew back out the same day. And then he charged it to the estate to be reimbursed. And there was an ensuing argument on that. Peace in a family, selling property.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, we don't even like to talk to each other.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one thing to have spouses or, who disagree or a screaming kid, but it's very different to have siblings or whatever. Yeah.
So, what does peace mean to you as our listeners? What is the thing that brings you peace, brings you comfort? Because I think that's the other word we associate with peace.
And at some level, Eric, I don't know if you've ever sat in a group where they'll say, inhale through your nose and exhale, and everybody does it while they're saying it, right? Just breathe deeper and let go of some of that. And it's amazing how that can help. And from a church perspective, do we allow the peace that we are intended to have? Does that ever just override all the fears?
I joke about it because it's one of the things whenever I teach, whenever I talk, you mentioned it, I think, in Hope about being in the car. And those same people you were just in the church parking lot, and I'm picturing your church,
Yep.
you have two different exits, right? You can
Yep.
pull out on two different roads.
Yep.
Those same people you just hugged in the parking lot, one heads out to one road, one heads out to the other road. And as soon as their driver's behind the wheel, and now I'm picturing Goofy as Mr. Wheeler in the Disney cartoon, I can't believe he just cut me off.
Yeah. Yeah. We become a different person and they become a different.
And they become, it's like, we just left.
Yeah.
I just hugged you in church, came peace be with you.
Yep.
And with you also, right? Passing it the peace.
Yeah. Okay. So Eric, again, let's go to your seasonal job, your Santa Claus job. Is there a place where you don't know whether you're going to get the rich or the poor or the we got nothing, or you don't know anything about these children who are going to be on your lap, right?
Right.
You know you're going to get germs from all of them because that's what you do at the holidays. You get all
That's what I do, and that's why I
sniffles.
use a product for Repiricin, which goes up in your nares, and I swab down before I ever leave. And then,
do you ever feel like that in a time of tenseness, in a time when maybe those parents don't have anything to give, that you're able to offer some peace in the way you communicate or anything?
It was interesting the other day. So one of the places that I work is Morgan's Wonderland. And Morgan's Wonderland was started by a dad who had a pretty high spectrum, who has a pretty high spectrum autistic daughter.
Okay.
And he watched her being excluded from things more and more as she aged.
Mm.
So he created this all-inclusive amusement park for any kind of disabilities, capabilities, whatever a person has. So in addition, he started, after he built that, he built what he calls the multi-assistance center. And if you have a need, you go to the MAC, and they've got special therapists, they've got doctors, they've got counselors, they've got drivers, they've got equipment things, they've got all of those things that take place. So I was working there the other day, and young mom with what I would, without any kind of professional, pretty severe Down syndrome toddler. Compared to some of the other folks that I work with there, they work in the convenience store. This little girl, glasses, hearing aids, some mobility issues, things along those lines. But while her mom and her aunt were with me, she couldn't settle down. As soon as they walked out and went to the other side of the camera, the picture they went with was where she just melted into me. Because I'm big, it's soft, it's warm, and they're like, oh my gosh, 2 more minutes and she would have been napping on you.
Wow. That's neat.
There are those moments that certainly can occur. Generally, I have experienced where I have not a whole lot of, I just want mom and dad to stop arguing. I just want, they're past that.
Yeah.
I don't know what may be causing that. There are kids who still think Santa can do everything, but I think we're getting clearer that Santa is about gifts and presents. He can't fix relationships. He can't do those things to bring that kind of peace.
Right.
But it's also this year, I've had more requests for trains than I've had in years.
Isn't that something?
And it's like, what? And I don't even know what cartoon or whatever. It's not like they're asking for the Polar Express. It's not like they're asking for Thomas the Tank Engine or anything like that. It's
just
one
a train.
Choo-choo train. Yeah.
Wow. Fun.
So those things come full circle. You've got fashion, and toys apparently, despite all the noise of video games.
Yeah.
And computers, and I need this, and I challenge the kids. It's like, I need a PS5. It's like, you need a PS5? What does PS stand for?
Yeah.
And they have trouble with that. It's like,
is that PlayStation?
Yeah. It's like, but they've gotten so used to it's PS.
Yeah.
Just like home box office became HBO. and International House of Pancakes became IHOP,
Oh, we've talked about this.
right?
Abbreviations for things we don't
We've
even.
got to make everything simpler, easier to tag, to promote, to do those kind of
Yeah,
things. And that's the same thing. So that's
yeah.
my piece about peace.
Your piece about peace. Okay, so since we're shortening these a tad, why don't you wrap this one up, brother?
All right. Well, we want to thank you all for listening and joining us on this second stroll around the Advent calendars. We talk about peace during the holiday season, relating it to the Advent candle, to world situations, to buying a house, and to Santa Clausing. I'm Eric. I live in San Antonio, Texas, and I work with Keller Williams Heritage, and she is my sibling.
I am Donna, and I live in Tucson, Arizona, and work for Keller Williams Southern Arizona. And we are
Real
real siblings.
siblings. Wishing you peace during this holiday season.
Way to go, bro.